because of all the meat I found, I'm gonna make a lot of different dishes. No, two. But I needed to empty the freezer, and I took out all the tomatoes and some peppers and onions, so I'm gonna make a tomato sauce as a base. Hi. Well, I have picked out all these tomatoes from the freezer, and I haven't done this before, but I know that I need to skin them, so I'm gonna do that. I tried with one without skinning, and no, I think I need to do that. So now I'm just gonna make a little hole in it. There's much more liquid when you have had them in the freezer. And I'm gonna do like this, and then I'm gonna put them in boiling water real fast, so the skin will be even easier to remove. So we're gonna see. It's two different purposes why I'm doing this now. One, I need a space in the refrigerator. No, in the freezer I mean, not refrigerator. I need a space in the freezer. So I needed to empty. And all these tomatoes is tomatoes that I have picked from dumpster diving, so they are completely free. So if I make a total mess of it, it's okay. It haven't cost me anything, so I can survive. And because we got all that minced meat yesterday, I'm gonna do both meat sauce to spaghetti, so like bolognese, but without carrots, because I don't have any carrots home right now. Or do I? No, I don't. And I'm gonna make some chili con carne, and the beans to the chili con carne I have bought from a place on internet that's called Mat Smart. It's food clever, and it's here in Sweden, and I know they also have in Finland that site. And there you can buy food that either it's the company that's gonna change the design on the items, or it is close to the expire date, or the expire date has expired. So I buy a lot of my canned stuff there that I don't can myself. Oh, that sounded good, but yeah, like I said earlier, I'm a beginner with canning also, so this is the, well, it's not the first time I'm gonna try it, but this is the first time that I'm gonna get success with it, because I have had such a bad stove, so I haven't been able to come up to the right pressure, so I haven't been able to do it properly. And here with the wood stove, I don't think, no, I'm not gonna get to the pressure with that either, but I have bought a one stove plate. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, you know, English is certainly not my native language. It's Swedish because I'm from Sweden. That's how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do everything today. I got 9 kilos of minced meat. My man has already taken 1 kilo, and he made a meat sauce that we're gonna eat today. And then I'm gonna put away 1 kilo. They are in half kilos package. And 1 kilo is almost around £2. You can check online and see what it is. Or maybe I check and then you can see it here somewhere. I'll put it in later. Well, that sound you hear in the background now, if you can hear it, it's my dog drinking water. Yesterday we got from the dumpster also so many dog treats. You know, those dried pig ears. I don't know how many packets of it there was but I mean it was, I think it was at least 20. And no, he's not gonna get a lot at a time, but he's gonna get, I will see. So I'm using different kinds of tomatoes because I'm just taking everything. And right now I'm so freaking glad that I got my carne, because even if I had decided to take out a lot of things from the freezer, I wouldn't have the space for all the meat anyway. I mean, it wasn't just these 9 kilos of minced meat. There were some pork chops, but they have expired in date, but they look really nice and I think there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, sometimes when you buy things and you are supposed to cook them and you have them in your refrigerator and then something else happens and you don't even think about that it's 1 day past the date, and there's nothing wrong with it. Minced meat is one of those things that you really need to be careful with, but luckily the thing we picked from the dumpster yesterday evening, and the temperature was around 0 degrees Celsius, so it was at a freezing point, and the expired date was today. So it's today. I have the whole day to do it. Anyway, I think he took 1 kilo. I'm gonna take 1 kilo to what was I going to say? To freeze, just as it is. So I have, and I can do other things with it when I feel like it. And then we have 2 kilos off, so we have 7 kilos left. So I'm gonna take 3.5 kilos to make the minced meat sauce, and the rest of this, the rest 3.5 kilos, I'm gonna try and make a big load of chili. So I don't know how long time it's gonna take me to process it all. It's gonna take a long time on the stove first to do it all, but I mean, because I'm gonna canning it, and that is gonna take a while. I know that I don't need to cook it really long. I'm gonna make so the meat is done, of course, and all the spices and the onions and everything is in it, but then I'm gonna take the beans, for example, for the chili in at the last minute, because then they're gonna have their processing time, and they are already done. So it's not dried beans I'm gonna use, it's canned. And after it has been canned and it has been on my shelves for a long time or a short time, whenever we want to eat it, then we're gonna reheat it, and then, you know, so I don't need to overdo it. I have so bad with my mobile phone to record it, so I'm gonna let it be here. I'm gonna take these tomatoes over to the stove. When I cook the food later, I'm gonna find some way to use this, But now when I'm just gonna dip this in the hot water, I'm gonna do it over there, and you are not going to follow me and see that. So see you later. So now we're gonna see how it goes. Well, it's easier to peel it off, I can admit that. So, and I don't really know, because I don't want all the fluid. Can I just squish it? I mean, of course my hands are... Oh. When I try, if you have one of those, I have seen those that you... It's a juice maker or something for tomatoes. It takes all the seeds in one bit and all the other. I'm just gonna cut that hard steam off like that, and then now I hope we're gonna make it a... Well, there I put it so you can see it, and we try. We try and see if we can figure this out. So, you know, we're all children in the beginning. We need to learn by I at least need to learn by doing, and I hope I'm gonna do it properly. And I make a squeezing hole so I can squeeze out a lot of the seeds and water. Yeah, and I don't think this is the proper way to do it, but this is one way to do it, at least. And I use this one way to do it today. And then we see, I have canned tomatoes, so if this doesn't work, I have another solution. So don't worry. Be happy. Yeah, this I think is gonna take a pretty long time, so I'm gonna save you from seeing this. So I'll see you later. So I have taken and done with all the big ones, and you see here it's so much fluid and skin, and yeah, some bits and pieces also of it, but yeah, I'm gonna throw that out in the garden so it can fertilize, and well, if the chicken wants to eat it, the chicken can eat it. They are welcome. Now these small ones I'm not gonna skin, but if I feel that this is a little bit too dark, I'm gonna cut that off. And I'm not gonna skin it, and I'm not gonna pressure a lot of juices out of these. And I don't know if this is the right, correct way to do it, but this is the way I'm gonna do it. And I hope you hold your fingers and toes crossed and hope that this will be a big success. I mean, a really big success. Why do people freeze tomatoes? Well, why not? I dumpster dive, so sometimes I get so much tomatoes and I think it's such a waste. They are really nice, big, loving tomatoes, and we can't eat all at the same time. And sometimes if you grow your own, you know you want to make sauce, but you know you got 5 that is ripping that day, and they're not all ready at the same time. But if you put them in the freezer afterhand, suddenly you have a big amount of it, so you can do a big batch of tomato sauce or whatever you want to do. I also have peppers that I have chopped up and put in the freezer. There is some with mixed colors also. And I also have chopped up onion that was in the freezer. We find new onions all the time, so I'm not going to take the fresh ones for this. I'm going to take the ones that I had in the freezer, so I get more freezer space. And I really hope this will turn out great. And of course, if you don't want skin at all in your tomato sauce, don't do like I do. Do like you want to do. There's nothing right or wrong. Yes, there are. My way is the right way. Everybody else is the wrong way. No, I'm kidding. But you need to decide for yourself what you want to do and how you want to do it. Nobody else can decide that for you. And that's the way I like it. I think it's such a pity that so many people are afraid of cooking. I mean, don't put all the spices in at once. Put a little bit, taste it, put a little bit more, taste it, and keep on until you find the flavors that you like, that you enjoy. I mean, of course I use recipes, but I use them as a guideline. I don't think, except baking. I'm not good at baking, so when I bake, I'm really trying to follow the recipes. So it's because baking isn't so much about cooking as it is as a chemistry. Baking is chemistry, so there it can be really, of course, depending on what you're doing, but there it is much more important with the way of different things, so it goes well. So there I have all of these. I'll put that. Oh, I have so much tomato fluid on my cutting board, on my table, and don't tell my man, but on the floor it have poured down in some places. But it's okay, it's okay, we'll fix that later. Don't worry, be happy. But I try to save as much as possible so I don't get it everywhere. And it's the same here now. I'm gonna put the pepper in at the same time, and they have also got a lot of fluid, so I'm gonna squeeze them also, and I hope I don't lose a lot in this batch of the tomato juice, because I'm not gonna find the pepper in there. So I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit of the fluids like that. I mean, it's gonna be a sauce, so obviously we need juices, but we don't want it to be a juice. And it's really cold. I took it out from the freezer before I went to bed last night, and it's still cold, really cold. And that reminded me I need to put more wood in the stove. So I do it like this. I really need to tell you, It smells delicious now with the tomatoes and the peppers. It's really good smells that come out of it. Oh, I think this is gonna be really nice to eat. I'm gonna find a lot of herbs to add for it. Now let's see, we're gonna have some onion in here as well. But because this have also been freezed, there's a lot of liquid in that also. And that's why you can see through the onion, because it has been in the freezer. The onions are also from dumpster diving. I got 2 big bags of it. So I thought it was best to freeze some of it. Let me take a little bit more. Like that. So now I'm gonna mix this up, and I'm gonna warm my hands. They are really cold right now, and I'm going to try to arrange the camera over at the stove. So see you later. So now we are over on the stove. Let's see now. The things we're gonna use now is spices, and because we are going to we are going to use salt that isn't iodinized. Do you say that? I think you say that. In Swedish it's jod. We are going to use salt without jod, without iodinized. Oh, I don't know what it's called. You need to figure that out by yourself, or I check it up and I put it here somewhere. Here can be a good place. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm gonna use salt. Doesn't mind what brand or anything. I have a little bit of paprika pepper, and so I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna use white pepper. I'm gonna use garlic. I have fresh garlic and I'm gonna use it later, but to this I'm gonna use this one. I also have, I don't know where I got it. Yeah, I know where I got it. I got it from a friend who's is it her parents or is it her husband's parents? I don't know, but they are a lot of time in France. So this is a épis pour salade. So I mean, it's a lot of mixed vegetables and onions and even carrots, and yeah, a lot of different that is dried and mixed. So I'm going to use that in there also. And I found that I had a little bit of concentrate tomato puree. Oh, I don't even know how to, I can't even speak today. Well, anyway, I'm gonna use that in there also. So we put the stove on and I put it on full so it gets a boost here in the beginning. I can start by mixing it a little bit. Like that. And then we're gonna take salt. And I mean, like I told you before, you decide how your food is going to taste. You use those spices that you want, and you use those spices as much or as less you want. It's you that decide. I'm gonna take salt like that, and maybe I'll take more salt later. I don't know about that right now. Let's see. Yeah, now that's, yeah, it can take a little while. But I'm gonna use all this pepper up. See, it wasn't so much in it. White pepper we're gonna use. And I take about that. see. I haven't used this for a while, I can tell you, so it was hard to get out. I'm gonna fix that later. I can take this now, so I have it out of the way. And you know, I live in Sweden, so this is metal, so I'm gonna put that in the metal bin, and this is plastic, so everything has its own place. There, and that with the other metal. This I can take a lot of. Take like that. Now let's see if we can stir this together. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is a quick stove, so it has already started to boiling in the bottom. I think it's a shame that it's a good thing that you can go to the store and you can buy already done meals. That's really good when you don't have the time. But if you can, make the time, and I'm not a person at all that's saying that, oh, you're not good if you don't do all your food by yourself from the ground. Yeah, you are, but you maybe don't have the time, or you think you can't do it, but I promise you can. Well, maybe the first one or two times, maybe even the third time, isn't gonna be perfect. But who cares? It's food. Just take it easy with the spices. Look at YouTube. There is a lot of good links where they cook. There are really good chefs that makes food so you can watch them alive. Staying alive. Yeah, I know. There's something loose in my head. Oh, I hope this is gonna be a yummy sauce that I can use to my kind of bolognese and to my... Oh, and I drank some wine. Yeah, me and my neighbor took, I think it was 1 glass of wine each a couple of days ago. So I have a half a bottle of wine, so I think I'm gonna use that to my bolognese later. And I'm gonna show you the meat sauce my husband made. Well, we're not married, not my husband, but my man. It sounds so weird just to say my man. Anyway, my old man, he I'm gonna show his later. I think he took everything from that jar with what is called dried chanterelles in it also, just for fun. Now let's see if I get this to work. Yeah! So this was the garlic. What is a tomato sauce without garlic? Basil is also really nice to have in it, but I don't have any. In the freezer I have chives, and I have, is it called persil? No, I don't know. In Sweden it's persilia, and I'm gonna check that word up. Jesus, what's it called? What is it called? I don't remember. Well, but I don't have any basil, I think. Or maybe I do. Well, I'm gonna check in one of the freezers. Maybe I do have some. That can be nice to have in it, don't you think? But like I said, use the spices that you know that you like, and you come a really long way by only using salt and pepper. Those are the most important spices according to me. one thing that I almost never use in my cooking, I use it, I'm not afraid of using it, but it's not good for you. And it's not necessary to use sugar in and on everything. I mean, a lot of food that you eat and you don't even think about it, like potatoes, vegetables, rice, wheat, bread, that is carbs. No, carbs don't kill you, but when you eat carbs, it transformates itself into sugar. When it comes into your body, it doesn't matter. Did you take a spoon of sugar and put in your mouth? Or did you eat things that turned into sugar in your body? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Then of course there are better things to eat. It's better to eat the vegetables with the carbs in than it is to eat sugar. But that's the same. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, and I stand for it. So I'm gonna lower the temperature a bit because I don't want this to boil everywhere. And I think I can put in a little bit more garlic. I like garlic, but my old man don't. But what he doesn't know doesn't kill him. What do you say? Yeah, I mean. Now, much of the fluid, when this is in a boil, the fluid is gonna steam off. So we need to check it, and we need to stir it so it doesn't get stuck to the bottom. Ah, it smells lovely, really lovely. Now, I'm gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna see if I can find some basil and see if I can check up some of the word that I didn't know, like pasilia, yod, and there was something else in the beginning. Well, I'll try to find out, and I will write it up for you so you know. And I mean, you're never gonna get an exact recipe from me when I do the cooking. I can write down what I have in it, but the amount, that's up to you. Is it just you when you're just doing it to eat today? Yeah, then you need that much. But are you a big family and you're a prepper like me and you want to make a big batch, do it. But then you need, not that, you need a whole bunch of it. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Well, I'll see you later.